Hello, my name is Matthew Cichocki, and this is my business practicum with Iron Mountain. Quick disclaimer, the presentation data is random and not indicative of Iron Mountain's financial health. This is because Iron Mountain trades on the New York Stock Exchange, and much of the data and projects I worked on were confidential. I built out similar visualizations to the ones that I created for Iron Mountain using randomly generated data to work with the assertion evidence model. So a little bit of background on Iron Mountain. It's rapidly expanding its global presence and diversifying its business units to serve companies worldwide. It's part of the Fortune 500. It's in over 60 countries and services 95% of the Fortune 1000. That's the top 1,000 companies that trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Its business units include data center, lifecycle management, Crozier Fine Arts, and its original business of physical storage and shredding. It's good at what it does, sanitization and storage, and it does it across several sectors. That picture that you see there is the original Iron Mountain. It's filled with valuable and sensitive information. Iron Mountain's stellar data privacy record has led to its trusted reputation across top companies. This is in part because they've never had a data leak and therefore are well renowned and have a large market share. I learned to utilize many software tools, including Python, Excel, and collaborating with colleagues on things like Google Calendar and Google Meet. And these skills are highly transferable and will aid me not only at the University of Dallas, but any business that I enter into. The majority of my internship centered around data visualization, ensuring I had a solid foundation in visualization theory, data analysis, and other basic business skills through LinkedIn Learning Center. A large part of this, therefore, my first part of the internship was absorption, meeting with people from the Iron Mountain Network, and learning how to craft visual content. I met with my direct superior, Tracy, daily, so I could check in and ensure that I was on the right track. This was an extremely important period for my professional development. I was speaking with new people on a daily basis. I needed to have a quick, concise introduction to help me get into the minutia of what I was working on and see how I could connect with people and if I could do anything that was beneficial to them. They were often higher ups and stakeholders, and they had a very interesting professional past. And so I was able to talk with them about what it was like to having worked at some of the places they worked. And that helped me to see where I could potentially go after college. So it was a very interesting period of time, very rapid fire, very quick. Large chunks of my time were just spent learning, and then other times were just very, very social, talking with a lot of people, even though this is an online internship. So this is the first business sketch that I made. It was the culmination of my LinkedIn learning that I did. And so instead of test data, I did it with real Iron Mountain data. And my visual content sort of demonstrated the progress that I had made and the utility that it had. I was able to impress the head of my function and open the door to new projects. It showed trend lines being utilized to analyze the forecasting abilities of each business unit, presented it, like I said, to the head of my FP&A function, and I was able to move on to new projects. And so one of these new projects was assessing analyst ratings and price targets of Iron Mountain. So I created a business sketch that created a case for analyzing and investigating Iron Mountain competitors by examining the construction methodology of these analyst ratings. So I got a list of the analysts that had rated our company, dived into why they had given those ratings and how they broke down those price targets and how they evaluated the rating that they gave. And so Iron Mountain recently classified itself as a REIT, and one of the measures for analyzing a REIT is a non-GAAP measurement called AFO, or Adjusted Funds from Operations. And so because it's non-GAAP, it's not predefined, and so Iron Mountain can define how they want to construct AFO. And so what I found was many of the analysts chose not to utilize AFO as a methodology of analyzing Iron Mountain's price target because it differed so much from the industry average. So because Iron Mountain's AFO was different from the industry average and their competitors, it was lower, it was too conservative for them to use properly in price target estimation, which was really interesting. And I wanted to dive into that further and see if would it be worth it to shift that and potentially have it used by analysts and how they constructed Iron Mountain's stock price. So the way that I did that was I moved into the competitors, analyzing the competitors of Iron Mountain's data center. I read numerous 10K statements and pulled AFO, FFO, and CapEx definitions. So this required using internal Iron Mountain resources to find the competitors that are classified as REITs and then analyze their 10K statements. So I did one here, Digital Realty, and looked at their 10K statement and then moved over and I compiled and analyzed these definitions. And if we were to move forward with an adjustment to our AFO calculations, it would have to be founded on understanding of how our competitors in the industry on a whole calculates AFO. And this does bring up an ethical concern regarding the lay investor's perception of AFO. When you use a non-GAAP measure like adjusted funds from operations, it can temporarily boost the stock market if the calculations of AFO move in a positive direction without lay investors understanding that this is a technical change to the definition, not an actual fundamental change. So it has to be very much publicized in order to sort of subvert the chances of someone believing that this is a positive fundamental change. And so it has to just be made clear to retail investors and analysts and the general public. But in any case, I sort of created a database for FFO, AFO, capital expenditure definitions, and this was able. This is still a business skit that is in progress, but that's something I hope to present to the CFO or higher up to potentially look at how we define AFO. Another project that I worked on was building visualization for Iron Mountain companies by country using Python's Boca library. And so just incorporating visuals using Python into an analysis of capital funding by country to ensure consistent cash flows on a global scale. So I used Python to do this. I wrote a Python script that pulled data from a Google Sheet and then puts the Google data from the Google Sheet into a graph like this, an independent HTML document that is like a dashboard. You can drill down into each of these and allows a quick view onto how Iron Mountain companies by country can benefit from corporate oversight, ensuring they have enough cash flow. And in order to do this project, I had to look at this thematically, see how the whole is doing, and then drill down into the details. And this is something that I actually benefited tremendously from Litrad, because you take the novel as a whole, but then you move into different themes, characters, and ideas. And this was totally familiar ground. I definitely benefited from utilizing the tools built and sort of pulling out themes and ideas and then expressing them in written word in a very similar way. You want to tell a story with data, and you want to look at what you can sort of decipher from just a large spread of data. And so it really built my visual sense, I would say, to have had Litrad and now function on a very different sense. I mean, it's visual, but at the same time, you're trying to tell a story and you're trying to make an argument based on the data. My final project incorporated examining the enterprise level as well as individuals, business units, and cross comparison between the forecast and actuals, and then a linear trend line to sort of judge the Iron Mountain business unit's ability to forecast. This will help the FP&A function to look into that. So I used Looker Studio for this. I integrated pre-existing visuals onto a dashboard for analyzing monthly business unit forecasts and actuals. So this is also still in progress. The integration, this rough sketch you see here has already been done, but it's still in progress into the actual integration. But hopefully I'll have that done very soon. So this will be a valuable tool, and I would say learning how to construct these visualizations have all been valuable tools for aiding me in sort of my professional pursuit, because I really believe that telling a story with data is becoming increasingly important in the corporate world. And I hope to continue learning how to visualize data and how to build visuals that are unique and creative and can do a lot of good for the company that I work for. I definitely think a lot of these skills are going to aid me not only at University of Dallas, but just anywhere that I end up working. Thanks for your attention, and please feel free to leave any comments or questions you have below. Thank you.